Chuck, welcome to the LeanPub launch video for Foundations of Computing, the course, an accessible introduction to formal languages. I was wondering if you could take a moment to talk a little bit about yourself and about the course and what it's about and who it's for.
I'd be happy to do that. I'm basically a math major, somebody with 3 math degrees, which is kind of strange, I know. But I was lucky to get into computing in my senior year. Somebody said, "Hey, you ought to take this programming class," and this was 1975. It was Fortran, and whoa, it opened my eyes. Hey, this is a way to be useful. So my background is in mathematics, but my work experience has always been in computing. So, I worked for defense contractors. I worked for other large non-military type organizations doing programming in Fortran and PL1 and C and C++ and Java and Python and all kinds of stuff. And I really enjoyed that. It was just a natural fit for me. But, after about 20 or so years of doing that, I knew in my heart of hearts that teaching was my joy, and so I did a lot of teaching, as a matter of fact. While I was working, I taught 200 credit hours of college computer science and a little math at night because it was so much fun. So I decided to take a big leap, and indeed it was a leap of faith in 2001. And I left the industry and took a tremendous cut in pay to become a professor of computer science. And that's what I did. And I loved it. And oh, I taught so many different classes. I taught different levels of C++. I taught Java. I created a class on design patterns and numerical methods for computer scientists and intermediate Python programming. And I taught analysis of programming languages. But the one class that I taught that I really enjoy, but the students had difficulty with, was the theory of computation, which in particular was mostly what we call formal languages and automata. And I tried a couple of books over the years, and the students had such a hard time with these books. Most of the books on this topic are written by mathematicians for mathematicians.
Hmm.
And here I am teaching computer science undergraduates. And I'm thinking, what can I do for these people? And so just for years I said, I need to write a book. And so how many years did I go? Well, I started teaching this class in 2002, and finally in 2013 I decided I need a sabbatical
Mm.
after 11 years of grueling work and being department chair.
Oh,
And so I took that sabbatical and I started this book, and I got the first draft done in a semester, and we started using this in the fall of, actually it was 2016, I'm sorry. Yeah. So 15 years or 14 years I taught it before I wrote the book. And then the whole goal was to make this, as I say, accessible in the subtitle to undergraduates in computer science and anybody who has an interest in computation in general that knows a little bit of programming and has a little bit of mathematical maturity. And so I did it, and it's gone through many revisions. It's been classroom tested for years. We finally published it officially on LeanPub in 2022, so that's 6 years of rigorous classroom use, and really love the LeanPub platform. It's just allowed me to get really fast turnaround and just give a new PDF to the students and that kind of thing. So the whole goal was just to make this more accessible without an overabundance of mathematical formalism. Now, I love math, right? I
mhm.
have nothing against it. And I use some math in the book, of course. But you don't have to overwhelm people with formal mathematical notation. So what I tried to do was to use just the right amount and then otherwise explain things with illustrations and words and programs so that they can grok what computation is all about. And that was the whole purpose of this book. So,
Well, thanks very much for that great description of your career and how it led to you being a professor, and how that led to you working with students for so many years and taking a sabbatical and producing this wonderful course and book. It's Foundations of Computing. You can find it on Leapum. Thank you very much, Chuck, for taking the time to do this launch video with us today.
my pleasure. Thank you.